to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
When the when the Porsche was here, so both the Mustang and the Porsche were jet black. Oddly enough, both colors.
Yeah.
There was a night where Xander came out into the garage after we had taken in we'd taken the Porsche, rotated out for the Porsche,
and he was like, "Where's Dad?"
He came. Here? Yeah, he's like, he was looking for me. Where's the darkness? Dad's soul. He came into the garage for something. I can't remember what he was. I think it was a Fortnite. Oh, he was talking about a Japanese music artist, Ado.
Okay.
He was coming in. He was like, "Oh, they this season's Fortnite experience is like Japanese themed, like Oriental martial arts.
Okay.
Godzilla, like Japanese culture.
Sure.
So he came in, and at the time I was polishing the Macan. Because, as you would do to a
Why
rental.
would you do that to a rental?
Man. We'll probably get there at some point.
Did you charge him when you returned it?
I should have. So I'm at the back. I'm like near the garage door, so the tail end of the Macan. And he comes in. He's like, "Oh, Dad!" He's like excited about the thing. So he's walking right past it, and then we have a conversation. We end the conversation. He goes back into the house. He goes to bed. Whatever. The next day, we're in the kitchen and we're talking about. I think we're talking about the Ghost. We're talking about like when we'll get it. We got to take the Porsche back. And he was like,
"What Porsche?
Wait, what Porsche? We have a Porsche? I like the Mustang. The Mustang was nice." I'm like, "Wait."
Rewind.
What do you mean the Porsche? And he's like, "What is that?" And the one that
you talked to me,
the one that we were in you were standing right next to it in the garage. She's like, "Oh, I really wasn't like looking. I was I'm like, "Is it because it was black?"
It could have been a panther. It just mauled him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He would have known.
It was the bottom end of a snowboard that was black. It was the shadows, the curtains,
right.
And he was, and then we made. Are you car racist? Like, if it was a Mustang, would you have recognized what it was? And he's like, "Probably not. I don't know." So we ended up making.
I guess it's close enough to
completely
the shape,
terrible cultured.
The shape of the RS that it's
could have been, but he was so
for him.
He was so oblivious
and focused on what he was
of the Ado stuff that he didn't realize. I'm like, "You walked right. What do you mean you don't know what Porsche we have?" He's like, I wasn't paying attention." I'm like, "Well." Yeah, we have a Porsche in the garage. And then we walked out and got in it. And he was like, "It's nice, but start it." So I did. And he was like, whatever.
Just a 2-liter turbo.
Yeah. He liked the console, but everything else.
Did he actually get a ride in it?
Yeah, I zipped him around once. And,
Hope you like that. This might be the last time.
I think yes. I'd never again. Certainly not a Macan.
I mean, unless you're getting a real Porsche.
A real one.
Porsche.
Right.
Porsche.
That's a thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? I don't give a fuck.
It's Porsche.
Is it Porsche?
Yeah.
Sha?
Yeah.
Sha.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I'm pretty sure. I'm
right? I don't fucking know. I know it's a huge thing. So we ended last week
on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Touching on this.
Oh.
There's a number of spaces. And finally we got the survey thing from Enterprise.
Okay.
Of which I'm excited to participate in.
Oh.
Of surveys.
Thanks for buying the 2-liter turbo, you fucks.
Right. So
if it wasn't the 2-liter turbo, it wouldn't have been in your price range, probably.
Wait. Oh yeah, but no.
In your rental price.
Oh no! If it had the actual twin turbo 3.6 liter V6s, no.
Yeah, no.
Because those are starting at up at 80.
Yeah.
The Balzania GTI version of
that would have been
Audi.
$80 a day or whatever.
Yeah. So somewhere, I think it was like a Friday or Saturday, a week and change back, we got like a touch base with Ford that they were concerned it might be like a gasket, a potential gasket problem with the turbo leaking oil, which may or may not have been related to the head gasket recall where they were putting the Mustang 2.3 liter head gaskets on the 2.3 liter RS motors, which have a different oil galley
setup
system, and it was it would leak coolant into the cylinders.
Mm.
I have had that done. So
that recall for you did.
Yes, we already did that one. So the concern after that call was, okay, we don't 100% know where this is going to land as far as is this going to cost, right? So in playing it safe...
That's a fun conversation.
Right. In playing it safe, we're just like, well, first off, the Mustang was it was a gift from Venus, was like, well, let's upgrade from where the voucher was from Ford, which they didn't have to do, but we were, sure, why the fuck not? We upgraded and paid out of our own pockets for a fun thing just for shits and giggles.
Right.
So we were paying above and beyond what we needed to when we didn't really even need a rental anyway. And after the call, we were like, okay, conservation mode. Let's take the Mustang back and downsize into the thing that's in the voucher, and we'll be fine.
Okay.
Because we're already there. We've already got the account and the thing moving. If it's a fucking Nissan Rogue or a Kicks or whatever, a RAV4, I don't give a fuck. Like, we're already there. We'll rotate out. Plus, it had 2 screws in the back right tire. So it was like, this has to go back anyway.
Yeah.
So Venus goes and she takes it back.
It usually costs extra.
What?
Screws in
Oh, the extra?
Yeah, if you go to America's Tire.
It's a performance.
Yeah. It's like a winter
throttleinator.
Yeah, it helps in the winter.
Right. It's
basically like...
And we had just gotten a storm, so we were like, you know what?
Studded tires.
We could take this rear-wheel drive car over the pass.
Want to go to Truckee?
Yeah, because studs.
Yeah.
In the tires.
Yeah.
So she took the car back, basically like, with the impression of, we can downsize anyway. We don't really need this. It's money out of pocket that we don't need to be spending. It's okay. Only to be told, well, the voucher is for a space and time, and in order to downsize, we would need Ford to reissue the voucher to go. And we're like, okay, it's paperwork that we don't need. She was just trying to drop off and rotate out and go to her dad's to work. And they were basically kicking around, you have this for the length of time. You can like for like.
Yeah.
An exotic car. And she sends me a text. She's like, we can't downsize. We keep a car either way. It's paid. It's paid. And I'm like, okay. She's like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just whatever is easiest for you and gets you out of there so you're not having to deal with this. I don't care.
Yeah.
She's like, Porsche? And I went, fuck yeah, Porsche. As I told my father, when I hear Porsche, as most car enthusiasts, I'm thinking 911.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Carrera.
Right.
Targa. Like the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
The GT3s. I don't remember seeing a Porsche specifically there.
A GT3, that would be...
Right. Because it's an exotic, and I rented an exotic, so who the fuck knows?
Right.
Well, she's like, fine. And then it's radio silent. So I don't want to bug her. So she gets to her dad. I'm like, is it an SUV? How many doors does it have?
Right.
She's like, 4. And I went, fuck.
And she went, when she saw it, she said the same thing.
Right.
Fuck.
Oh, and the first thing I got from her was, I don't like it. It sucks already. This is ass. And I'm like, it's okay. It's definitely not those.
Not a good one.
It's not a 911.
Yeah.
Because even she would.
I mean, what's the four-door sports car? Is it the Cayenne? No, that's the SUV.
Panamera.
The Panamera. If it
or-
was that, it might
yeah.
have been okay.
It would have been close. I mean,
Closer.
I would have liked to have driven a Panamera.
Yeah.
Like, sure. Fucking.
It would have been.
A Cayman, maybe. Like, is at the back end.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A 914.
Right. She sends me a picture of the back end. Yeah, 914. She sends me. Wow. She sends me a picture with Macan, and I went,
Gosh.
little, and then I'm like quickly looking like, well, how does this compare to like the 5-liter Mustang? No,
Not even.
not even close.
No.
One, it's an Audi with the 2-liter turbocharged. So they have three 2-engine models. 4 trims. There's the I live really close to Granite Bay 2-liter turbo 4 and the I actually live in Granite Bay at Los Lagos and I have a Cayenne. But that's what it is. A 2-liter 4 or twin turbo 3.6.
Right.
This is the 2-liter 4. It was
Which you said is the same engine they put in the GTI.
right. Yes, the same engine.
Okay.
Right. The RS. I don't know what's the displacement on yours.
It's 2-liter.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
So mine has a 2.3. I think it's pretty close, if not a little bit bigger than your son's Ranger. It's close. It might be tuned different. So 2.3 liter on the RS.
I want to say his was a 2.3 also.
I think it's the same motor.
Yeah.
It just might be tuned for torque versus
Right.
minus. It has less power than mine. Obviously, it has a smaller displacement, and it weighs 1,000 pounds more than my car.
And does it have all-wheel drive?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it felt nimble. The suspension was very refined. But the power, you could tell it was trying.
Yeah.
Transmission was amazing. Anyway, Porsche 2-liter 4-cylinder Macan, ass. Really where I wanted to go with both experiences of both cars, relative to what you and I would probably have the most things to talk about, is the audio. I did
Yes.
not realize. Now, to be fair, the Mustang was it was a 2024, but it also was convertible. I don't know what audio package was in it. So that aside, the speakers fidelity across the board in the Mustang was terrible. It was
Really?
It was terrible. It was bad.
Is that? Do you think that's because it doesn't have a hard top, and that makes a big difference? And
I do wonder, but I don't know. I don't know.
Now I will say this: my mom had a 1989 Chrysler TC by Maserati.
Okay.
Which you ever seen one of those?
No.
Remember the LeBaron?
Yes.
Okay, it looks like a LeBaron, but a little bit smaller.
Okay.
And it had a serious multi-speaker sound system in it.
Okay.
And it had back before like subwoofers were normal. This is 1989. It had a couple of subs in it, like smaller subs.
Yeah.
And it sounded good if you had the hard top on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't have a top, or if the soft top was up, it was
iffy.
Yeah.
I took the top down on the Mustang, but I didn't play music in it. With the top up, it sounded like ass. And with my...
I wonder if it's just because there's nothing to bounce off of.
It might... I don't know. Like, I tuned the options relative to what I could,
Yeah.
as best as I could, with same phone, lossless, like iTunes music, I could not make it sound decent. It like, and I don't. Here's the thing: I don't consider myself spectacular in my audio discernibility. Like,
Right.
I'm not special.
But if it sounds good to you, then it sounds good to you.
Right.
Right.
But Venus had the same, like,
Oh, this isn't good.
Right?
Right.
And it wasn't that I couldn't find what I was looking for in the Ford interface, because the UI, even though it was a 2024, the UI was like, oh, I understand what I'm looking for here, and the here, treble and bass and balance and fader. Nope, it's
not doing
it. Still makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
Right.
And same music, and I was like, fuck, wow, you don't realize what you're missing in something that you've put time into and aftermarket into until it's gone. Now, the RS had as a halo car for Ford, it had the top of the line Sony component system in it.
Yeah.
And even that, going from the Subaru, it was like, I mean, it's better,
but it's lacking.
Yeah. And that, that was probably, I think I had it maybe a year or less, and I was already like, okay,
yeah,
this is the components are better, the amps are better, the digital signal processor is better. Like, I could do all of these things, leave factory wiring in place, and it sounds awesome. It does not sound Dave's home stereo awesome,
right?
But it does sound awesome. Then we got into the Porsche, and
hard top.
Right, it's an SUV,
Yeah.
probably somewhere between a RAV4 footprint and an Explorer. It's like that middle space, probably closer to Melly's in space, like wheelbase, but not. But it was like almost like a what's the Harry Potter thing? Hermione has like a bag where it's like it's deceptively got more shit in it,
Right.
or a bag of holding in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, the back seat was not necessarily spacious, but the trunk was humongous.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, there's a lot of space back here.
Yeah.
Got in the Porsche, and it was even, I'll be honest, it was even worse than the Mustang. And that's
surprising.
It is, because
but it's also Audi.
Volkswagen. God, there was a whole bunch of preconceived expectations about what the Porsche brand meant to me and what I was expecting, and then the reality of actually having one.
Well, that's a Porsche that you're getting into just because you want to buy something that has a Porsche logo on it.
I am fully on board with that perspective.
Yeah, but it's not delivering what...
No one with actual money that wants the clout of saying I have a Porsche would buy that model.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got money, you would not be buying the base model Porsche. You would be buying the Big Daddy.
How much is that car new?
61 starting.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
You're out of my thing. Now, could the components have been better on a higher trim model? Absolutely possible. The next bitch,
I'm sure they have different stereos as they go forward.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest outside of the audio in the Porsche. I'm gonna compare this to the Apple phone experience, because I think that's kind of where I was at in a headspace man, if I ever bought something that had the Ferrari, Porsche, Lamborghini, BMW like nameplate on it, something that's above the you and me in reality of owning.
Yeah.
There is a a level of polish and intuitive use that I would think, well, that's just got to be there because I'm paying so much money that's there, right? The user and you saw it, the user interface for that thing, I was lost. Like, it was like, why would you do? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
The ignition turn on thing on the left-hand side was like, why would you make me have a mechanical
Just
fob
a button
and a key fob that I have to keep on me? It
was weird because it was like a fob that just stayed in the dash that
right,
you used to
that you
turn.
had to turn when you had the security proximity fob in your pocket inside the cabin.
Yeah, and that thing just stayed there.
And it just stayed
stuck off the dashboard there.
The
it was very strange.
Indicator stalk felt like, I've heard Jay Leno describe this, felt like a dried out drumstick. Like it was going to break. Like it felt like there was like a mechanical clicky thing that I was legitimately afraid that I was going to snap. The
Yikes.
Climate control, seat heater, a sport mode, like your traction control, your throttle response, steering thing, was all this like weird single plane of glass type of thing that was wrapped around the I'm gonna say Prindle, and you'll know what I mean.
Yeah,
the Prindle,
shift.
the Prindle stock.
Yeah, the shift.
The UI for the car in general, like your CarPlay Apple or CarPlay Android Auto thing, it did in order to attach to the wireless CarPlay, you had to put the phone in a sleep or wireless charging and CarPlay. You had to put it in a console with a lid inside
Wait.
the armrest.
It wouldn't connect to CarPlay if it wasn't in the armrest?
I misspoke on that.
Okay.
It was the
just for the charging.
wireless charging.
Okay.
So in order to get wireless charging, you had to lift up like an armrest and the console between the driver and the passenger, put your phone inside this sleeve to get the wireless charging.
I mean, my car is worse than that, though.
Yeah, but
because my wireless
you're
charger,
already in a mechanical situation.
but my wireless charger is under a mechanical door in the dash that you touch this metal piece and it mechanically opens, and then you put your phone inside the dashboard and then touch the metal and it closes again.
Yeah, but that's a cool.
But no, it's not.
That's a cool user
your
thing.
Phone
like
is,
you're touching a
your phone is hidden. And so what often happens is, because I also have wireless CarPlay in there with an adapter,
right?
Is I end up leaving the phone in there all the time.
Well, stop being old.
No, like
remember.
But that's the whole thing, right? The wireless CarPlay and the wireless charging would be better suited if it wasn't inside the fucking dash.
Well, and here's the disparity, right? The Mustang, decidedly less MSRP.
Yeah.
It was just a cubby.
Yeah.
I tossed my phone into a cubby.
Yeah.
It charged wirelessly. I could see my phone. I could grab my phone.
Yeah.
And then it attached to CarPlay wirelessly. So I had just come in spending 4 or 5 days with something that was like, this hurts me none. The user experience in attaching, charging, compared to even the RS, I've got a cable. I've got hard cables.
In theory, though, if you're just popping around town or whatever, running errands or, I mean, shit, even if I was driving to the office, I don't charge my phone. So my phone stays in my pocket. So that's what's difficult about if I want to charge my phone and I want to put it on the wireless charger. Normally my phone stays in my pocket.
Right.
Well, now I've put it in here to charge and it's hidden away, and I just pop out of the car because normally it's just in my pocket.
Sure.
And then later on I'm like, fuck. Or my watch will say, "Oh, you left your phone somewhere."
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then shit, I got to run back to the car and get my phone.
Yeah.
So that's what I hate about
So I've
that.
skipped that experience. So
Yeah.
for me, because I always plug in
Because you have to.
because I have to.
Yeah.
So in the
We need to fix that.
yeah. In the short experience of having the Mustang, of not only am I used to the Ford Sync interface,
Yeah.
but now I have a new shiny. Oh fuck, wireless CarPlay. Oh, I don't even have to plug in my phone anymore.
Right.
I don't really need to even plug in for charging, but the wireless CarPlay part was fucking ridiculous.
The bomb, yeah.
Ridiculously
It's super cool.
convenient.
Yeah.
To then get in this Porsche, which probably has a $15,000 to $20,000 on top charge baseline cost.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you do want to charge it, you have to put it in a console in a specific little fucking sleeve.
Right.
I was like, I'm already irritated. I'm already fucking irritated.
I mean, I feel that. I feel that same pain.
So then the UI, the CarPlay UI would only take up about 80%. I can't remember if I showed you this when you were here last week. Would only take up 80% of the real estate on the LCD, which was nice. It was nice and clear. Like, I have no complaints about the screen quality.
Did it have the 2 arrows at the top?
It did not.
Oh, interesting.
So you could not. It had
zoom it out.
Yeah, it had because I fucked with that when you left.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe I'm just being an asshole.
No.
Like, maybe I'm just being an asshole. Like, is there an arrow that can let it slide all the way over, or can I just expand it? 20% of that screen real estate was reserved for
car stuff.
right, and this is the Android bitch about Apple people. 20% of this screen real estate was reserved for what Porsche thought I needed to see for the Porsche experience. No, like.
But not in that car. You wouldn't. There's no Porsche experience.
Right. I mean, it was
Other than the
some,
badge
like,
on the hood.
Porsche tiles of like weather and like we do our own thing. Like you could look at these things. I'm like, I don't.
But see, that's what GM's doing.
I think I was trying to explain that to my dad. I'm like, if automakers are trying to create this universal experience that I can go from my car to your car to any car that I buy going forward, and
Except a GM.
Right. And regardless of if I'm using Android or Apple, share an intuitive user interface experience
Based
so that
off your phone, which has your life on it.
Right. So that I'm not distracted in like, where is that? I'm trying to find that gas station. Like, where's I don't understand this. I just bought this car.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, the CarPlay Android Auto experience is to, I think, help the consumer find a streamlined way to not be distracted, because they don't want you fucking watching Netflix.
Right.
Right? As fast as possible and as easy as possible.
I mean, I keep complaining about GM. The reason why I keep saying that is because if you didn't know, they are not including CarPlay and Android Auto on their vehicles now.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that, what did it just read? Rivian? Rivian is not.
Tesla doesn't.
Because, what did I read? Because that was kind of like but I kind of like that.
Right.
I
mean, you can still Bluetooth.
Yeah, Rivian's perspective was that what we want to do is not take you out of the user interface experience of the Rivian software platform, but we do want you to have all of the API stuff of CarPlay. So they're trying to... So it's not so much that they don't want you to use CarPlay. They want to just... Or attach your phone. They want you to be able to, like, well, if you plug your phone in or you put your phone inside the car and you attach it to Bluetooth, they're going to give you all the CarPlay tendrils inside the Rivian UI. I'm like, okay, well, I understand that better, because they don't want, like, the software may not play together. And I don't know how Teslas work.
I think Tesla is essentially the same.
Is it?
Yeah, as Rivian.
So it was a little bit because immediately I was like, well, yeah, I kind of like CarPlay though. I really. I
know where everything's at.
I know where everything is at.
I know how to.
I'm very comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like I like the hands-free options.
Yeah.
I like maps. I like the integration. I do.
Chandler's Prologue has it will put CarPlay on the main center stack and then also on the little screen. So if you've got maps going, it'll put the like main map on the right, like with the bigger picture, and then the center screen behind the steering wheel, it will put like turn left at the next left, and it'll put that in the little center one. So this, I think you can change what displays where.
Yeah.
But like the way he had it set up was this one just shows the main map of like the big picture.
Does it do wireless CarPlay?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. It's a nice setup. Yeah.
It was very clean.
You know, I'm at the point where if I was looking for a car,
that might be it.
If the question becomes, oh, I like this car, maybe I might want to buy it. Does it do CarPlay? No. Oh, okay. In fact, when I bought the Cadillac, that was one of the things, like, oh, it has built-in CarPlay. Perfect.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then the other car that I was looking at was like the Audi A4 or something. Didn't have CarPlay. And I was like,
hard pass.
See ya. So,
yeah.
I mean, that influences purchasing decisions for sure.
Yeah. Like
especially
I think
now
my dad is coming close to probably getting like whatever his sunset vehicle is. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he'll probably drive his Fusion into the dirt before he buys a new car because he's of that generation. But we've talked, like, specifically when we were talking about the Porsche and how pissy I was with it, and the Mustang, and how much I didn't know. We've talked about this feature a number of times here, like the thing you didn't know you needed that made your life completely easy, like the watch unlocking your iMac or your Mini, like your screen.
Or using Apple Pay from your watch.
Right. Or right. Like I was not using any touchless pay until it was on my watch.
Right.
And now I use it almost religiously.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just that easy.
Yeah.
The wireless CarPlay experience when I had the Mustang for 4 or 5 days was, wow, that was so. I hate fucking plugging something in, like
pulling it out, grabbing the cables, and then stowing it,
right,
and then remembering to grab it and put it back in your pocket.
And I think a lot of that too is I'm not playing Ingress anymore. I don't need to see the screen.
Right.
I don't need to touch a screen. So if I could just
get in and it works,
get in and just have it attached, well then sure. So some of the legacy phone attachment experience is a lot of my latent Ingress. Like I have it in a dock so that I can touch it, and it's plugged in because the battery would fucking drain when you're running Ingress.
Oh yeah.
So it was like I have it in a place where I would touch it because I would always be touching it. But now that's not a thing, and now I realize, well, actually, once it's attached with CarPlay,
you don't need to touch it.
I don't need to touch it. I can do all that stuff.
And if you can do all that stuff with CarPlay without pulling it out of your pocket, that's even better.
Right.
So which leads me to what this discussion we had last week when I was leaving was just get an adapter and try it, because
put it on your Santa's list.
It is worth doing. That's how I do it.
How much was that product?
Oh, I don't know, $60 or something. They're getting cheaper.
I tell you what. If my wife is listening and she has a relative, probably her dad, that is looking for a gift, what is it? It's a wireless
Apple CarPlay adapter.
There you go.
Yeah. There's several of them out there. I've got into it early. There was I think it was called Car Link It or something like that. And that one was problematic in my car to the point to where I ended up with the Amazon, the free Amazon thing. Whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Vine? No.
Vine, yeah.
Yeah.
So through Vine, I ended up getting a couple different ones and trying them. So that's how I got Shanna's, and I think that's how I might have gotten mine. And that one just works really well in my car. Every once in a while, it has a problem, but that's...
I think
whatever.
Probably when I was this is probably early COVID. When I was looking they make dongles for this kind of thing. I think it was still in the infancy of those products. And I was like, man, I don't want to set up like it's like some janky. I don't think it was there yet. But it sounds like your product is dialed in.
Yeah,
I think there's been some.
For sure. And I think also the bigger difference is newer CarPlay implementations in newer vehicles have less issues with it also.
Yeah.
Mine's a 2016. You've got a newer yours. Wait, what year is yours?
2017.
Oh, okay. Well, it might, it should be fine. I mean,
did you buy a washer at the same time or buy a car at the same time I bought my washer?
No. But
when did you buy the Cadillac?
2019. It was 3 years old.
Okay, that's right.
But the way it works is you plug this little dongle in, and then you connect to it through Bluetooth. And then once it connects through Bluetooth, then it hands off to Wi-Fi. So it creates its own Wi-Fi network, and that's how it talks to your phone.
Okay. So as we were talking about audio fidelity, does the lossless quality of iTunes come through on a Wi-Fi connection bounce through a...
I don't notice any difference.
You don't notice any difference?
No.
Interesting.
Now, there could be. I'm just saying I don't notice it.
Sure. I mean, I've heard you. You play your music so fucking loud, you probably wouldn't know. Anyway.
I was very much...
Your daughter may know, being the profession that she's in. But
I don't know.
and I are so old and balls... dragging old that our ears are blown out and we wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have wireless CarPlay, they're worth, and you have CarPlay capability, it's worth giving it a whirl for sure.
It was handy.
Yes.
Is it make or break for me? No, because my car doesn't have it.
Right.
And I'm so used to the cords that it's fine. Can I honestly, in truth, pick apart fidelity nuance between a corded or streamed? No, I cannot. I am not that.
Now, I'm going to tell you what. You can pick out the fidelity between a Porsche and a Mustang and a RS that's got a custom system in it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I can definitely tell because the system I had in my Civic that I gave to Melly that got wrecked was awesome.
Yes.
And then I got the Cadillac that has a Bose system, and it's, what does Dave say? There's no highs, there's no lows, it's Bose.
Yes.
Yeah. So I definitely, I mean, it sounds good enough. It's just not, it's not up to the standard of which I would have built a system out like myself.
We should circle. Fuck. We got time.
I would love to replace everything in my car with something good, but the fact of the matter, like you also have the same thing. Everything's so integrated into the dash.
Yeah.
Your sources and everything are it's not like I can just throw a head unit in the Cadillac.
Right.
So
yeah.
So you've got to replace stuff from the back end and then throw a very expensive, what are they called?
DSPs.
A DSP and a couple of amps and replace all the speakers. And now you're talking like $1,500.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just...
And that's watching premium products.
Yeah.
Not Epic products.
Yeah.
And not Kmart products.
Yes.
What is the
It's
minimum?
good enough.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be rotating this out for shit quality in a year.
Right.
That $1,500 is safe.
Yes. You could go way higher.
Oh, yeah.
Way higher.
for
you
sure.
know?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
a 10-speaker system, and you think I'm going to let any speakers not get replaced? No, I would replace every fucking speaker in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe add a bigger sub or something. You know, like a 10-inch or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe a pair of 8s or something.
Yeah. I mean, 2 8s. I know a guy.
And the other part of that is I don't want to lose out on trunk space for a
Right.
fucking speaker box.
Right.
I don't want to do that. I've been there. I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Not in this car, I don't think.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
What was the
good
biggest
enough.
trunk? What was the biggest speaker box you had in the car?
Oh, just the 10.
Was it Civic?
No, I take that back.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
This
Let's go.
this is the dumbest shit ever.
Okay.
I don't know where. I think Ted got it. This is
Okay.
in high school.
Okay.
And I had a Hyundai Excel.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have a speaker box for it. It was I think it was a 12. And it was just literally, we put it in the back and just hooked fucking the amp, the literal
a hanging
Panasonic
speaker.
Yeah, just in the trunk. And
Fuck
we
yeah.
drove around with that for a little while and laughed.
So the
But then
funny,
we were like joking, I've got a 12.
I've got a 12.
And Ted and I would laugh.
The funny haha is that for a length of time, I actually had one of my dad's home stereo cabinet speakers
Okay.
inside.
Which is a totally different ohm rating.
Yes, I didn't know,
Right.
but it had a fucking 8-inch woofer in it
Right.
in the passenger seat.
Was it a Fisher?
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe in the passenger seat of my Fiero.
Oh, that's
And
hilarious.
fucking
Seat belted in.
oh yeah, dude. How did you see my car?
Oh, that's so
Because it was
funny.
like fucking. I've got an amp. I have a fucking Jensen amp
Right.
with a raw set of speaker, like fucking works at the fucking dad
Yeah.
stereo. Bink. Oh yeah, fucking
Yeah.
some Into Deep.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking. Oh yeah.
I remember in my old Honda Civic, I got my hands on a set of. It was like a nice set of equalizer unit
Mhm.
and some other. I forget what the other unit was for.
Yeah.
But I got my hands on these, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to use these." And I got them for free.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my parents were out of town, and I pulled my car in the garage, and I ripped the seats out, and I proceeded to install all that shit in there,
Yeah.
and it sounded like complete ass.
Oh no.
And then I literally and then I was up until like 4:30 in the morning, ripped it all back out and put it the way it was, and I was like, "This is fine."
Venus had a Ford Probe
Yeah.
that I don't know where her amp came from, but somehow in us courting each other, I had convinced she had the fucking hardest hitting 15-inch bandpass.
Really?
It took up her entire, and she's probably like, "Yeah, asshole." It took up her entire fucking trunk.
Oh my god.
That thing hit so
It was a
fucking.
15?
It was a 15.
Oh boy.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, the thing about the bigger speakers is that those lows that they hit those sound waves don't even break in the car. They're
Yeah.
breaking outside the car. Those are for everybody else to listen to, not for you to hear in
What
the car.
is the it was God damn. We got so many miles out of Fear Factory.
Oh god.
Smashing Pumpkins I from the Lost Highway soundtrack.
Yeah.
To this day, it may be on one of her playlists. Like she makes a ghost playlist,
Oh,
like
that's
shit to
funny.
play just when she's in here.
Yeah.
I, as in like the orbit, not the pronoun, from Smashing Pumpkins. In her Ford Probe. Fucking hell, dude! It
hit, huh?
I am amazed that she tolerated the amount of shit that we played on that thing. Fuck, dude, that thing would. It hit.
Okay, so this wasn't my car, but
That's the best car to.
This was a
service
dude
in.
that worked at the pizzeria when I worked there for a short time and left, but he was still friends with another guy that worked there. And one day he came by the pizza shop, and he was like, "Oh, you got to come out and check out my stereo." And he had like a little S10 Blazer.
Ooh.
Right? And we're like, "Oh, okay." And we go out there, and I mean, the entire back of this thing was a box that stood up, and it was shaped like a house, so it had like a point
in
at
the
top.
bed of the S.
In the back of the S10.
Oh.
And it had 4 15-inch woofers in it. And that was it. It didn't have any, like, there were highs and lows, but just the shitty speakers up in the front, whatever I think came in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And those 4 15s, there were no mids, there were no highs. And that's all that was for hitting bass notes. That was it. And it hit pretty good.
Oh, fuck.
But it was fucking ridiculous and stupid.
We had a friend. It was the friend that lived in Katie's house.
Yeah.
His dad ended up going on to do Pride Industries.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was always very humble, but they had money, and he had a beater of a Chevy Love.
Okay.
It was baby blue, and he ended up somewhere around junior year in high school. Got a camper shell, and he was crafty, and his grandpa was crafty. While I didn't help with it, he made like a carpeted truck bed insert into the because his mom worked at Carpet Connection right off of Streeter, right before Combi.
Okay.
So they had carpet sample leftovers that he could carpet the truck bed, and in it he put 4 JL10s.
Oh, geez.
And at the time, if you could get JLs,
yeah,
and they were all bought.
That was some money, man.
From the car stereo place that's still there,
yes.
Probably different ownership, right there at Dry Creek where the new Dutch Brothers is.
Yep.
God, I was in that place. So, I want. Can I hear the Blaupunkt again? Fucking, this is German.
They're all he's back.
It's really good. I would say here's the Germans.
That guy the guy that looks and listens but never buys.
He drove up on the Fiero with the fucking cabinet speaker in the passenger seat. Like, come on. They hate him. Come on, man. He had 4 of those and it was just the most unassuming thing. And then he ended up finding a used camper shell, and it was the biggest. That thing,
just the biggest speaker cabinet ever.
God damn it, dude! I'm like, I wish I had. Something. And fucking, then I go up to Kmart and 5-finger some fucking. I don't know what the cheap speaker was at the time. Jensen, probably
Jensen or something.
Walk out of Kmart with some Jensen
Audio Vox.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
And then listen to Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
At Jesus Christ, and Soundstream amps on his back wall with 2 seats in the truck, and it was just like, where's all this power come from? Holy,
that's bonkers.
It sounded amazing, but that was like the era for us as adolescents.
Yeah. The big thing is in high school for us was if you could get your hands on a nice mini truck, right?
Yeah,
and then deck it, lower it with wheels.
If I'd had I wanted a Chevy Love so bad.
Yeah, and then put a fucking badass speaker in it or a stereo system in it.
Did you have a truck preference?
No.
Did you want to do money's no object. If you had an option, Jim, let's go out and get you a truck that you can slam.
I wouldn't have done it.
Really?
No, I came around to the conclusion that they were dumb.
Really?
Yes.
We had this was probably sophomore. Well, yeah, it was probably near driver's license age. So my sophomore year, I had a friend who lived in Alta Sierra who was in an accident on 174, and his payout, he ended up with money He lost eyesight in one eye.
Oh,
He
damn.
ended up with money.
Yeah.
He bought a 90 Toyota blue, God, gorgeous blue, and he slammed it, did the whole thing. He had money, and I built a model, a Tamiya. What's the guys that do the plastic plane, the planes, model planes?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I built a Tamiya Chevy Love that I cut the spring.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The closest I could get to a slam mini truck
Right.
was a model,
Yeah.
a car model. I slammed it. I painted it white, and I did these. It was like a Nickelodeon goop,
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah.
not flames,
Paint
but yeah,
splatches.
paint
Yeah.
down the hood, down the side fenders.
Yeah.
Man, I was so proud of that thing, and that's the closest I ever got to a mini truck.
Okay, so we had a friend in high school. He was in my brother's year, so a year ahead of me.
Okay.
When he was a newborn, there was an incident at the hospital, and they cut the tip of his pinky off.
Oh, shit.
And it couldn't be reattached.
Okay.
So he won some sort of settlement out of that that went into a trust
Okay.
that he couldn't touch until he turned 18.
Oh.
So in 88, when he turned 18, he went and bought himself a Mustang 5.0.
Oh. Like the velour, the dashed taillight?
Is it the Fox body Mustang or whatever? I
Yeah.
don't even know.
Yeah. Like
an
square-
88 Mustang.
Okay.
Which were at the time they were badass,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
bought one of those, and then sent his car to somewhere in the Bay Area, and it was gone for like 3 months. And they put a fucking huge system in it that cost who knows how much,
Oh, wow.
and that's what he drove. And that was the guy that more or less introduced me to Metallica and all of the other like metal stuff. That was what was he was into. And in fact, before he got his Mustang, his mom would give him a ride, and my brother and I would be riding our skateboards down Madison to school.
Yeah.
And his mom would be giving Jeff a ride because we would have to kind of like pass his house
Yeah.
to go, and he would just pull up, and she drove some old shitty Chevy 4-door sedan beater thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, get in. And I'm not joking. He had Megadeth, fucking Metallica, whoever it was, Anthrax, in the stereo.
Yeah.
His mom's driving in her like pajamas. And he had it in there fucking cranked with a pair of 6x9s in the back.
Yeah.
And then we would ride in the car listening to the death metal
Nice.
in the first thing in the morning on the way to school.
If I had, I'd be honest. If I had a preference, I like that squared California style Mustang.
5.
And
Yeah.
I think that's like the.
I think his was convertible.
Was it?
Yeah.
You've lost me.
You don't like the convertible.
No, I like the hardtop like that. I think the legit street cars guy bought a Mustang of that like body type.
Oh.
I think it was red.
Oh, yes.
This is ways back, but I
Yes.
think he did. He was.
Or I
doing
think it was
stuff
somebody else's car.
stuffing it in a parking lot.
Yeah.
He fixed it in a parking lot.
Yes.
I like that. The Throttle guys did a Mustang for Sunoco in some sort of Chicago promotion, I believe, in the same era.
Okay.
I like that square.
Yeah.
If you said, that's not fair. If I had a body choice, it would be a 68 fastback. But if you said
The fastback.
80s and beyond, tell me what your Mustang body preferred type would be. It would be that late 80s, early 90s squared 5-liter Mustang with it has like dashes over like little velours over the taillights.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, those things are so hot.
This is the one that he had. It was the black one with the red stripe around
How am I going to see
the
that?
belt.
Did
I
you
just
send-
texted it to you.
Did you?
Hells yes, man.
Oh no, am I going to see this? That's it, but hardtop.
Yeah.
I love.
So he had the convertible, but yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Venus, for a time, she had a convertible. I don't think it was a 5-liter. I think it was an LX. It had the cargo. It was convertible, but it had the cargo rack on the back trunk.
Yeah.
And it was always like a. But I don't know if it was 5-liter. She'll have to tell me later. I'll ask her.
Okay. One of the other cars that I wish I had.
I love it when we do car talk.
A friend of mine had like a late 80s Volkswagen Cabriolet. Now, I'm not.
Wait. Oh, okay. Like a rabbit?
No, it's a Cabriolet. Well, I mean, I guess it's a rabbit Cabriolet.
Okay.
But they were just so cool. Here we go. You know what? It was the GTI Cabriolet.
Okay.
Golf
Are
GTI
you
Cabriolet.
sending me another picture?
Yeah, I'm going to send you another one.
Okay.
Because this car, and it actually had these same wheels and everything on it.
You
This
have to forgive me, I'm not on fiber, so it's taking me a bit to see it.
it was like a metallic gray.
Yes.
Where the bumpers and everything was all matching colors.
Yep.
I fucking love that car, and you never see them anymore. And I would love to, if I was going to have a project car that meant something to me.
Yeah.
I would want to do the GTI Cabriolet, late 80, 88, 89, whatever year it is.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
That in a hardtop was what when we were in Isle of Man, that was the rally car that the gentleman who we stayed at, like the Airbnb like host thing.
That car, but a hardtop.
But hardtop.
Yeah.
With the ratchet straps of the engine down to the fucking mounts because it was after modded or whatever. Fucking, I don't know.
Aftermarket. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't see those anymore. And I wonder if it's because maybe the roofs leak or something and they just rot out or something. I have no idea.
Jesse with the truck. I didn't say his name. Yeah. With the truck, with the JLs that lived in Katie's house.
Yeah.
His dad had one of those. It was green. And he was the funniest guy. Rest in peace. They took me to Disneyland a couple times. And you would know the corner. It's the Lime Kiln Dugan's three-way stop where you're like coming down and then you got to make a right and then you
go uphill.
You're coming to Auburn. Yes.
Yeah.
We would leave at like balls o'clock to make it to Disneyland on time. And he would just start to come across the line. There's no one here.
Right.
And he would just be like, "We're out of control." And the top, I mean, it's fucking 4 a.m. and the top is down and we're all in blankets in the back seat. And me and Jesse were just like, "This is fucking amazing. We're going across the line."
Right.
It's fucking, he was just the amazing guy. But it was a rabbit. But fucking top down.
Yeah.
Like the square
those wheels
features.
and all that shit. Yeah, I think those are really cool. And the GTI of the same time frame. Yeah. I remember watching another friend that had a GTI round a corner into a neighborhood off of Madison, and the back wheel lifted. That's how fucking hard he hit that right turn.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh shit!" And I was driving my fucking Hyundai Excel.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm never gonna keep up with that guy.
No.
Ever.
No.
You know.
It's the Germans engineering versus the South Koreans.
Yeah.
It's different, Jim. It's a good try, but no, it's not going to.
Totally different cars.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's I would love to have one of those. And it just felt, especially at the time, it felt modern, and it was German, and it was real Volkswagen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not like we have Volkswagen now, which is like this conglomeration of fucking Audi and whatever.
Yeah.
This was like the old school. Shanna had an 88 Jetta, two-door Jetta.
Oh, wow.
That car was balls amazing. It was so good.
Really?
Yes. Just like the super low end Jetta. Just a 4-cylinder, just like nothing special about it. It didn't even have wheel coverings on it.
Yeah.
And that car drove like nuts. It was quick. It handled like crazy. I love driving that thing. 5-speed. Yeah, it was a great car. She had that when we lived at our house when we moved in.
Really?
Yeah. We had to get rid of it because we had a baby.
Oh,
And it was
Sad Dad.
It was 2 doors.
Hey, welcome to Sad Dad's Club Podcast, episode. Fuck, I don't know. I'm the Lord Foo. He's Jim, and we're about done with time.
I'm glad you got that out of the way.
Hey, you know.
I had been thinking about it for an hour.
Can you imagine if you got that far and you're like, I don't know who I'm listening to.
Who is this?
Who are these people?
What is?
Why did YouTube feed me this? Like Apple, I don't understand. Who? I'll just keep listening for another minute and 3 seconds.
That was an hour-long cold open.
Yeah. SNL's jealous as fuck.
Yeah, they can't do that
No,
because they got commercials to run and shit.
No.
We don't have any of those problems.
Yeah. Fucking bitches. I don't know. That Mustang.
Anyway,
You know Ford did the Escorts as like mini versions of that square fox body thing. What did they have?
the Escort GT.
Yes. EXP? No. Oh man.
The Merkur XR4 Ti.
I don't know. It's fucking parkour. Renault GTI LMNOP.
Wait, the Ford Escort?
Ford Escort EXP, was that a thing? I swear it had a 3-letter denomination. Ford Escort EXP.
EXP.
Please say it's a thing. Or my
No, it's coming up.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It almost looks like it kind of looks like a little Mustang.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
God damn it.
They're calling it a bold paper tiger right here on Autopolis.
I was in a young lady that was trying to court me, but I was not
Into it.
I didn't understand
Oh,
the physicalities of what was...
I don't know what to do with this thing.
Yeah,
in my
I don't
pants.
know. What does this do? For my birthday, she got me a limo, and then we went down to the Bay Area, and the whole thing was that on the way back, she was coming back to pick up a car, a Ford Escort EXP,
Oh, okay.
that she had bought, that she was coming back. So that was the limo down, and on the way back, she was picking up a car that she had bought. So it was like a twofer, I guess. And fuck, it was like a small Mustang.
Yeah, I recognize it, but I don't think I realized what it was.
I'm going to have to look up the pic, see what it looks like.
It says it's the first 2-seat Ford since the original Ford Thunderbird.
That checks out.
You know, it has flavors of the XR4 Ti, which was Merkur, but also Ford.
Oh, was it?
It might have been bigger though, the Merkur.
Anyway, it was nice. I was like, fuck, you paid for all this stuff and a limo, and then you got a car, like fucking.
Can I have a Conquest TSI, please?
And she was like,
oh,
yeah, TSI. And she was like, you want to put it out? And I was like, I want a car.
what? Did I just hear that correctly?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand. What are you asking for anyway? You take me home now. And
Do you need gas money? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't. What? You want to buy me one of those like weaved Bajas?
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow.
I was confused.
You're like, I don't know what the other brain is thinking about.
I don't know, but as soon as you take me home, I'm probably gonna jerk off.
For sure.
You sure you don't want to? No, I'm gonna jerk off when I get home. Anyway.
Wow.
Hey, on that note, you should return the cart.
Should wash your hands, man.
Wash your ass.
Should check your oil, Tony. This is the most appropriate show ever to talk about that.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Register to vote.
Do the kindness.
Pick up a broom. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, bye.